Hello, my friends. My name is Antonio, and you are welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel. The only channel where every day I show you a property for sale in the Italian market. In each video, I select a property in a different town in one of the 20 beautiful regions of Italy. But so, my friends, let's start and let me introduce you today's property. And in today's video, I bring you back to one of the most beautiful regions of Italy, in my opinion, a bit underrated, which is Molise region. Small region in between the south and the central part of Italy. Okay, my friends, so we are in a beautiful town called Palata. We are in Campobasso province, Molise region. And so we are talking about a detached house for sale in via Belvedere 17, 17 in Italian. So it's not a detached house, but it's a terraced house. We are in Palata. The asking price is 74,000 euro. Now, it's not a very low price. This is not a very inexpensive property, but is quite big because we are talking about 160 square meters, around 1700, maybe tiny bit more than 1700 square feet, and we are talking about a property which is not in need of renovation. So ready to move in, keys in hands, because the house is fully renovated. So we are going to investigate, we are going to find out all we have to know about this property for sale. But first of all, as usual, let's go on Google Maps to understand where the property is. So, as I told you, we are in between. Molise is this region in between the south and the central part of Italy. It's bordering with Apulia region, also with Campania region, and also with Abruzzo region. Now here we are closer to the Abruzzo region, so we are closer to the northern part of Molise. And so, as we see, anyway, the location for me, in my opinion, is extremely good because we are in between the beautiful hills of Molise region, not really mountain area, very agricultural area, but in particular, we are not far from the sea. I'd say in less than half an hour, we are already on the sea. Then we are surrounded by many beautiful towns. First of all, we have Termoli, which is a beautiful town, beautiful city with railway. We also have San Salvo and Vasto Marina here, Vasto, which also have the railway. So we can commute quite easily anyway to Termoli and Vasto. Then we are surrounded by many beautiful small towns in the area, like Montenero di Bisaccia, Mafalda, Bufalara, Acquaviva Colle Croce, Guglionesi, and so on. So many beautiful towns around surrounding Palata. Now let's keep zooming in, simply to show you that Palata is not a very small town. We are talking about a few thousand inhabitants. Actually, let's go on Google to check with you straight away how many inhabitants is Palata. So 1,450 inhabitants. So it's a small town, but very quiet and with all the services that we may need. So we have restaurants, we have bars, we have grocery shops, banks, post office, bus stops, so which are commuting to Termoli. Anyway, here we are, this introduction with Palata town. Palata is around 500 meters above the sea level. And the property, as we see, is kind of in the historical part in the beautiful historical part of the town. And as we see from the property, we also have a great view. So the property has a lovely view because it's not really in the center of the town. So here it's bordering. And anyway, we'll see very soon now. Before anyway, we are going to investigate and find out in the pictures all we have to know about this property. Let's do, as usual, we read the description to understand the property. And so, my friends, before I read, if you like this type of contents, if you like my channel, you're welcome to hit the like button and to subscribe, my friends. Okay, my friends, so let's start at Via Belvedere numero 18. So before they say 17, now it's number 18. Okay, so here we enter in the world of the agencies, of the estate agencies, which are not very precise, but I'm here to correct, to let you understand all we have to know about this property. In Palata, Campobasso province, we offer for sale a completely renovated independent house of 160 square meters. So 1700, 1750, maybe 1750 square feet. So decent size, quite big, bigger than the average Italian house, which the average Italian house goes in between 70 and 100 square meters, so between 800 and 1100 square feet. The property is spread over 3 levels plus an attic. So it means the property is over 4 levels, okay? 3 plus the attic, 4 level. I don't know if the attic is habitable, and consists of an entrance hall, a large eating kitchen, a living room, a bathroom, and a balcony on the ground floor. So now, okay, we are on the ground floor. Let's call it ground floor. 3 comfortable bedrooms, a further bathroom, and a balcony on the first. So basically, we have the ground floor and the first floor. So we have an eating kitchen, we have a living room, bathroom on the ground floor, 3 bedrooms, and a balcony on the first. So we have five rooms up to now, without counting, obviously, the bathrooms. A beautiful finished tavern with an additional kitchen. Now, tavern is a kind of basement, but it's not an underground basement because the property is on one side of the house is on one level and another side of the house is on a different level. So basically the tavern, let's say, is, we call it basement, we can call it basement, but still we are not underground. We are at a ground floor. The tavern is on a ground floor on one side and the ground floor on the other side. It means, anyway, it's a bit, you need to understand that, anyway, there are 2 different entrances on 2 different levels. So on one side we have 3 floors, on the other side we have 4 floors. Finally, I've been able to explain. With an additional kitchen in the tavern, in the basement, with fireplace and wood-burning oven, a hallway, and a cellar in the basement, an attic on the top floor. They don't say if it's habitable. The property includes a garden of approximately 40 square meters. The property has undergone a renovation that includes the roof, so that's extremely important, the systems, bathrooms, and fixtures. So it seems like the property went recently through a good renovation, maybe maximum 10 years ago. The property is located in the very center and is close to all services. Excellent solution for year-round living or as a second home. Exactly. Both of them are good options. Then let's read quickly the basic features. Detached house, 2 floors. We know now it's 4. 160 square meters built, 6 rooms. Now, if we include, we counted 5, then if we include as well the basement floor, the tavern with this extra kitchen, because in the tavern there is a second kitchen. So let's say, yes, 6 rooms. It could be turned maybe even in a guest room to make it, not separate, but as an extra space for guests, for example. 2 bathrooms, plot of land, plot of garden, let's say 40 meters square, not very big, but anyway, little outdoor area, good condition, orientation, all right, built in 2014, so renovated in 2014 because the house is much older, individual heating. Okay, let's check the price per square meter. And now, my friends, for a property that is renovated, so we are under 500 euro per square meter, which for me is an extremely good price. So we are 462 euro per square meter. And finally, we can start exploring, we can start investigating at the pictures of the property. Okay, my friends, so let's start figuring out the property. Now, I'd say that, okay, let's call the basement ground floor. Then, what they call it ground floor, we call it the first. What they call the first, we call the second. And then the attic, simply to understand. So, for me here in the ad, they call it ground floor. For me, it's already the first. Okay, but we see that on this side, we have the main entrance, which is on the ground floor. It's a bit not complicated. I hope you understand. So, here we have everything looks in a very good order. New windows. Let's start from the windows. New double glazed windows, new frames, new radiators, new floor tiles, furniture. Okay, nothing special, but anyway, we have a good renovation project here. We have a vaulted ceiling. So let's see. They say all the systems had been renovated. Let's go back 1 second. Let's go back. Okay, here we have one side of this room. This is the living room. All right. So we have this living room, and this is still the living room. So we have a very spacious room used as a living room, not as a dining, not dining area. You know, sometimes in Italy they mix. The living room has both of the use as a dining room and as a living. But here I see we have a quite spacious living room. Floor tiles, nice, very nice. Okay, let's keep moving. Interesting. Some parts have exposed bricks, like the passage from one room to another, which is very interesting. So we have also this kind of cabinet here with exposed bricks. For sure, there, it's possible, but I won't go through more renovation. But to expose more bricks, maybe even the vaulted ceiling could have been exposed with bricks. But in this case, for me, the property looks more modern, which is fine. Okay, here we have a better view of all the room, of all the living room. Let's keep moving. Okay, now here we are in the kitchen, and also the kitchen looks extremely in a good order. I think here we are on the other side of the house. So this side, while now these two rooms are on the same floor, but this side is on the ground floor on the main street. This side is on the first floor. So we have a balcony from this side. Then we have radiators, kitchen in a very good condition. I think they sell it furnished, this property, probably. The price, anyway, 74,000 euro is not extremely low, but possibly negotiable, this price. I believe possible to negotiate. Electrical system also looks good. So everything went through renovation. Also very important to say that the roof went through renovation. So as we see here, we have spacious kitchen, and then through the passage with exposed bricks, we go to the living room. So we have kind of, we don't have doors, but it's not a big open space, but we see that we have decent size space for the kitchen and decent size space for the living room. Then, as you see, we have the balcony from here. So on this side, we are on the first floor. That means that on this side, there is a basement, what we call tavern, which is on the ground floor. So the second kitchen is under this room that we will see later. Again, everything in a very good order. I like the way they renovated this property. Big table, big kitchen table. So New balcony frames, new blinds, everything. From here we have a lovely view. We'll see actually they brought us straight away to the beautiful hills of Molise. So this view is never boring. This is the type of view that personally I like. Okay, now here we are finally into the bedrooms. Bedrooms that, according to the ad, are on the first floor. In my understanding, if I consider the basement, we are on the second floor here. And so we have spacious bedroom. Now here, for example, we see that the floor tiles are still the old one, but these are very nice. I was reading only yesterday a very interesting article how these old type of tiles now are going back to, there is a trend and many people are even buying this type of, so it's even possible to sell. You want to get rid of this floor, it's also possible to sell this type of floor, but the same that I have in my house, in my bedroom, is a kind of marble style. There is a particular name that now I don't remember. Anyway, we have radiators, we have double window here. Anyway, a room that overall looks in a good order. I like it. So I don't see any major issues with this property, with this room. So decent sized bedroom. Okay, there's no bed, but double bed, but that's fine. Okay, now here we are in the second bedroom. So the second floor, let's say, didn't go through floor tiles renovation. They only installed a new heating system, new electrical system, but they kept the old floor, which is nice. For me, I won't change it. In this case, I would keep it as it is. It's not that bad, believe me. Maybe you are not familiar. Obviously, these are floor tiles typical of the 50s and 60s, let's say 60s and 70s. 50s was only cementina tiles or cotto tiles. Then in the 60s, they start these type of tiles. Anyway, this room here might look a bit narrow, but if we see it from this perspective, we see that it's not that narrow. We have a table. So we have a second double bedroom also with balcony. Here we are on this side of the house, which we are on the main street with the balcony. We are on the first floor. On the other side of the house, we are on the second. So different levels. Okay, now here we are in the third bedroom. Third bedroom, which is I have a fly here. Third bedroom, which is, let's say, a small single bedroom. Here they changed the tiles. They went through new tiles for this room. Now this room can be used or as an extra guest room, or as a study, or as a hobby room. Anyway, we have windows in a good condition. We have radiators. Everything went through a good renovation. The house is clean. So, okay, now here you will ask to yourself, where are we here? So basically here we are going from the kitchen living room floor, we are going down to the basement. So we are going down to the tavern, let's say. So the basement level, which is on the ground floor on one side of the house. And so we have these stairs with iron, I think iron casted, if I'm not wrong. Anyway, decent stairs, kind of also for safety. Nothing wrong with this type of stairs. And then here we see, anyway, we have, I want to go back here to let you understand that we have different type of tiles. We also have vaulted ceiling. And here we have we can foresee the cellar. So basically we have a cellar plus a kitchen, a second kitchen. This space could be adjusted, could be used as a second unit, I'd say, because we have a kitchen, also possible to make a second unit, let's say. Okay, now here we are in this kitchen, which is the second kitchen of the house, which is under the first kitchen on the first floor. And so with an exit, we have an entrance from this side of the house. So the house has two entrances. From this side, which is the basement, and then from the main street, which is on the first floor. Then here we have the garden, probably, because from the main street, I didn't see any garden. Decent, generous, and spacious kitchen, second kitchen. Also, we have an extra window I thought was only the main entrance door. Okay, here I see the floor tiles went through some renovation not long time ago, but I think before the renovation, 2014 renovation, as they say in the ad. Probably these tiles were put maybe 20, 25 years ago. But anyway, we have a lovely, decent space. I'm going back. Okay. We have a lovely fireplace, which is kind of interesting. Then we also have a wooden oven for baking. So let's see what else they're showing. Okay, here we have a better understanding of this room. Now, they left a bit of dirt on the floor. They didn't even brush, but okay, let's not take it as a bigger problem. And now they show us the two bathrooms. Now we know there is a bathroom where the kitchen and the living room are. And then we have on the first floor. And then we have another bathroom on the second floor where the bedrooms are. Let's say this is a service bathroom. I'd say it's in a good condition. Can always be improved, but I see the radiators hanging on the wall, the new style. So it went through some renovation, this bathroom. And here we are in the master bathroom, let's say the main bathroom, which is on the first floor. We have a small bath tube that is used anyway as a shower. And then we see everything. Okay, this floor tile, these tiles we see are new. So it went through a modern renovation. We also have a window, so all the rooms of this house have a window. Here we are to a belvedere, which is just very close to the house, only few meters away. So this is Palata Belvedere. If you are familiar with Palata, if you've been there, let me know in the comment section. I know there is one of my subscribers, Sean, that he bought a property here in Palata. And so he's enjoying his property here. I would recommend this town anyway. I'm sure he knows this spot. I never been here personally, but I'm sure if you've been to Palata, you've been to this Belvedere. And here we are in the street where the property is. The property should be on the right here, not the first, not the second, probably the third or the fourth property on the right. And here where we see these murales, that's where this Belvedere is. And this is the property from outside, so which is very, very nice. So here we have the entrance hall. Here we have the entrance, the main entrance. Here we have the first floor with one single bedroom, or this is the bathroom. This is one of the two bedrooms. This window, I think, belongs to the living room. Yes, because I remember the living room had a window and the kitchen, which is on the other side, had a balcony. And so on this side, we are on the ground floor. On the other side, we are on the first. Then we have an attic, and they haven't showed any pictures. Pity. Another picture probably taken from the bedroom with from the balcony. So it's simply a beautiful view. I think we may even foresee the seaside from this point of view in the beautiful days, let's say. And so this is the property here. And we can see that the property, even the facade, the exterior part, is in a very good condition. New front door, new window, new blinds, new window frames, and here we have the shutters on the first floor. And here we have a little view of the garden, which is not really the best view I ever seen. Then obviously the garden hasn't been looked after, but so we have access to the garden from the basement, from the kitchen that we saw in the basement. We have another little cellar unit, which is maybe needs to be improved. Maybe they were keeping animals back in the days, like chicken. Little barn. Okay, my friends. Garden. 40 square meter space, not extremely big, but nice to enjoy once it's clean and tidy. Okay, now finally we have finished to have a look at the property, the pictures. We read the description. We find out all we had to know about this property, and now we can focus on the distances to the main destination. Let's say around Palata. Okay, so let's start. I would start with Termoli, simply to understand how far we are from Termoli. So we reached Termoli in 37 minutes, so a bit more than half an hour, which anyway is okay. 33 kilometers is not that far, let's say, tiny bit more than half an hour. Let's say in half an hour we should be already on the sea. Let's see, for example, how far we are from Petacciato Marina, Spiaggia di Petacciato. Petacciato is another beautiful town in Molise region. So to Petacciato, also 37 minutes, 35. Here they show another route, which is 35 minutes. Then we have anyway. So let's say between 35 and 40 minutes, we should be already on the beach, which is not, anyway, a long distance. Let's see how far we are from Vasto. Anyway, in my opinion, this is one of the best area where to buy, where to invest, where to buy a property. For me, here the prices of the properties are so low, but there's such a high trend that here the prices can even increase in the coming year. For sure, in the next 5 years in this area, southern Abruzzo, all Abruzzo region and Molise region, even in particular the areas close to the sea, they might see an increase simply because there is a trend. There is a lot of interest from expats in this area. Maybe there's an area that I never covered in my video, which is the northern part of Apulia region. Now, let's say above northern Foggia, there are many beautiful towns in this area: San Severo, Serra Capriola, Chieuti, Lesina, Vico del Gargano, Rodi Gargano. Here is Vico del Gargano, Rodi Garganico. But here in the Gargano area, the properties are more expensive. Maybe, let's say, in this area, which I think there is a famous YouTuber which is showing a lot of properties for sale. I think they're mainly focusing in this area: San Severo, Torre Maggiore, Apricena, Poggio Imperiale, Lesina, Ripalta, Chieuti, Serra Capriola. So maybe I should start investigating this area myself. Let me know in the comment section. San Severo is a quite big town, over 30,000 inhabitants. Let's say this area between Rodi Garganico, San Severo, and Campomarino Lido, which is already in Molise region. So then here we are. Okay, I lost my. Okay, let's go back. I lost my... Ok, via Belvedere 17 Palata. What else can we check? So I didn't check how far we are from Vasto, but I guess we should be under 1 hour from Vasto. 50 minutes. In 50 minutes we are already in Abruzzo region. Also San Salvo Marina is already in Abruzzo region. San Salvo. Then I want to check San Salvo, it says 37 minutes. Then I want to check the capital of Molise region, which is Campobasso, 1 hour and 7 minutes. Now Campobasso, as we see, is the capital of the Molise region, but as we see, we are in the mountain area. We are in the Apennines, in the central part, let's say, of Italy here. So we are quite far from the sea. I'd say from Campobasso to reach the sea might take it takes more than 1 hour. And then now let's see from Rome to Palata. I want to understand. Okay, let's reverse here. So from Palata, from the property to Rome, by car takes 3 hours and 35 minutes. By transportation, let's see how long it takes. 4 hours and 45 minutes. Let's see. So from the house, 4 minutes by walk. Then we are in Palata for the bus stop. So we have one bus that goes to Termoli, to Bivio Larino, to this area called Bivio Larino. Then 10 minutes. So from Palata to Bivio Larino, 10 minutes. Then from Bivio Larino to Termoli, we have 26 minutes. And then from Termoli to Rome, there is another bus. So 3 buses. With 3 buses, we are... Anyway, the first bus is only 10 minutes from Palata to this location, SS47 Bivio Larino 2. So 10 minutes to here, then 26 minutes from this location to Termoli, and 3 hours and 50 minutes. So it's not impossible to reach by bus this location from Rome. And now, my friends, finally we can go and do a bit of Google Street View to understand if we can find the property. Let's see. Okay, we have the Belvedere, Via Belvedere. That's why it's called Via Belvedere. So simply because you have a lovely view. Belvedere means lovely view, translated in English. Bello, from bel, vedere, to see, beautiful to see. Okay, now here we are in Via Belvedere. Let's understand. Okay, we have murales on the walls. So some houses we see are in a good condition and renovated. Some are not. Probably some are for sale, for sure. Some properties are for sale. I believe not in all the houses people are living. We see, for example, here we have a beautiful stone house which is in need of renovation. We see that doesn't even have a balcony. Was initially built but never installed fences. So initially, here we have, okay, a property which is used. They have garage. Here we have a scorch where we can see already the valleys. Here we have a lovely big house. Probably farmers. Anyway, we have farmers who are living mainly in these towns. Okay, I'm still trying to understand if we can find the property. Here they're doing some renovation works. So someone is upgrading the property. Okay. For me, is one of the best areas, this one. Okay, I think we are getting closer to the property, and here we are. So basically, we find out this is the main entrance door, the living area, and the first floor with balcony, with so one bedroom. I guess this is not a bedroom, but this is a bathroom, and then we have two bedrooms on the rear side. And so let's see, and here we are just arrived to this Belvedere with the murales, with the show. So there's only two houses from this Belvedere. I'd say it's worth. Okay, I want to see. We have lovely neighboring house. So some people are looking after their houses. Here we have another one with exposed bricks. It will be interesting. I would recommend you, if you like Italy, if you like the south of Italy in particular, if you're looking for inexpensive properties, I would recommend you to scout this area. As I told you, Guglionesi, Petacciato, Mafalda, uh, Palata, all these towns are very nice and don't have mad prices. And anyway, lovely people, lovely community. So okay, my friends. So from the street view, from Palata street view, I wish you a lovely day, and I'll see you here for another video tomorrow. So for another property for sale in one of the 20 beautiful regions of Italy. Bye.